Now, of all the excellent organisations that so far have been name-checked, I will just give particular praise to Christian Solidarity Worldwide. I've made 2 visits abroad with them. Firstly to Nigeria, where I took witness from the Bishop of Jos, whose own wife was raped by extremists, and he gave a graphic account of what it is like in northern Nigeria. Likewise, I made a visit to Pakistan, and I met there the inestimable Shahbaz Bhatti, who was the Minister for Minorities, who was slaughtered for his beliefs. And I hope in due course the Catholic Church will recognise what that wonderful man has done. Pakistan is an interesting country. It has people of all persuasions in their government, but Shahbaz always knew that he took the risk of losing his life, but he carried on nevertheless. I spend a lot of time obviously worrying about the Sudan. At the particular time it's obvious what is going on there, but I got very interested because of the religious divide. What I found when I knew more about the situation was that it isn't just Muslim against Christians. I think the Honourable Gentleman opposite earlier talked about Christians sometimes fighting Christians, which is sadly the case in southern Sudan, but also the way in which religion is used as a franchise to allow people of extreme views to be able to go on and use those views to maintain power. So I would ask obviously the government to keep a very close eye on the Sudan, to make sure that the Christians who remain in the north, of which there are many millions, but we also try and bring some peace to the south. Now, just in the remaining 2 minutes, just to concentrate on a couple of points which I think are worthy of some emphasis from the Bishop's report. When the first of those is, I think it's very important that our embassies and those who advocate on behalf of the British government are able to recognise the importance of freedom of religious belief, and they're properly trained and they go and look out for that. I think that's an important recommendation from the Bishop, and one that I hope that the Minister will take up. Often there are other issues connected to it, sexuality, gender and so on, and it's important that we tease away what may be a veneer of religion and look what exists below the surface. But at the end of the day, what we're talking about here is the mass exodus of Christians from so many places in the world. And that is unacceptable and something we as Christians have to do something about. We must make sure that we talk about it in this place. We must make sure that we represent those communities. And of course, it isn't just Christians alone. Often there are other groups like the Ahmadis already been mentioned. I would mention the Baha'is, who clearly are a religious group very heavily discriminated against in many parts of the world. Just in conclusion, the one blemish and something I was sad about was that the Bishop was called in by the Israeli ambassador to be admonished for the fact that he chose to mention Israel and Palestine as a reason why Christians have left the Middle East. I think it's important that we stand with the Bishop and we make it clear that whatever the discrimination, those who may not be openly discriminatory are still nevertheless in a sort of covert way allowing these things to go on, and we would always stand with the Bishop in what he says and what he's done and what we will follow up with.